Hi Abhimanyu, how are you doing?
Good. How are you, Shandeep?
Yes, I'm fine, and thank you so much for coming here to join my podcast. And this is my first podcast with you.
That's exciting, and thank you for having me.
Welcome. So, in this podcast, I have some questions and I will ask you. Okay,
Sure.
yeah. So, I want to meet you with my audience. So, hi everyone, this is Abhimanyu Gupta, and he is an award winning data science teacher from St. Louis University, Missouri, USA. We know that you are a data scientist, and uh, you have studied your BCom from Calcutta University, and also after that you did complete your MStat from Indian Statistical Institute. So why did you decide to become a data scientist? Did you always want to become a data scientist from your college time? I want to hear this story.
Sure. When I was in school, I figured out very quickly that I do not like biology at all. Um, so when I um, graduated from the 10th grade in India, after that, I was supposed to select only a few subjects. As you know, the physics, chemistry, mathematics, if I take the pure science route,
Right.
and also a fourth subject, which is usually biology. But as I mentioned, that I figured out that I do not like it. It's too much to memorize, and I am not very good in remembering things. So I was looking for other options, and then I found out that there is something that is called statistics that is available. And I figured out that that is something really close to mathematics. I did not know back then what is the difference between statistics and mathematics. I just knew that it has to do with numbers and calculations and things like that. So that is why I took statistics, just to avoid biology. And in those 2 years, in my 11th grade and 12th grade, um, you can say that I fell in love with that topic or that subject because I was enjoying so much. I learned so many things. It is a completely new dimension to me, and I was totally in love with statistics during that time. So when after the 12th grade, when I was supposed to choose my path for higher studies, there were a couple of options that I had. I mean, I got into engineering in Jadavpur University. I got a civil engineering. I did not have a very good score in the joint entrance, but I had a reasonable score to uh, get a civil engineering. And I got few other um, opportunities as well. But I was that point of time kind of adamant that I will learn this topic more because I was in love with that. And at that point of time, there were only a couple of institutions who used to offer higher studies in Kolkata at that point of time. I remember that there were only three colleges who had honors in statistics at that time. So I tried and I got admission. They chose me, one of the good universities, one of the good colleges back then. It's called Presidency College. So they chose me, and then I left everything. I thought that I would just study more. Honestly, when I took this decision, I did not have any long-term plan because I was not capable of doing any long-term plan that point of time. I was too immature. I was too naive back then. But I just went with my gut, with what I wanted to do. I just wanted to make sure that I'm doing something that I love, not because of social pressure, not because path for the higher studies. And then I spent around 3 years studying that. And I fell in love with statistics even more. during those 3 years. I mean, it changed my life when I was studying my BSc in Presidency College. And then that point of time, I knew that I would do something um, with statistics and by the way, data science. The term data science did not exist back then, but statistics did. So I knew that I would do something with statistics, but I was not really sure what it was or what it would be. Um, so then, kind of after the Presidency College, um, things started falling into places automatically. So first BSc and then masters and things like that. So that's how I entered this world of statistics and numbers. But it's a different story that after I graduated, after I did my masters, everything changed. I went to the IT and all, but that is a different story. But this is how I was into the path of statistics, and I studied and I really enjoyed my student life back then.
Okay. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. So you have started your career with corporate. You have started your career with Cognizant, and it is one of the MNC companies in India. So how was the journey with Cognizant, and how was their culture in Cognizant?
Um, Cognizant. Okay, so you're talking about my job, right? After
Yes.
I graduated, right?
Yeah. After graduating, you have started your
Okay,
career with Cognizant.
right. So what happened was when I was studying statistics, I was um, thinking that probably I would do even more higher studies, like I would do my PhD and everything. So I was kind of decided on that, that I would I would do some research, probably not abroad, but somewhere in India, maybe ISI, maybe in one of the IITs in Calcutta University. These were the options that I had. And then Cognizant came along with other companies. Those usually come in the campus. At
Right.
that point of time, it was the mid of 1999. So you can say that the IT industry was just started to boom.
Just started. Right.
Um, yes. So they came here, and it was kind of a peer pressure. My friends told me that why you are not appearing for the interviews and everything. Although I was very sure that I would not join the companies, but then I appeared for the interviews, and it looks like I cleared the selection process by Cognizant at that point of time, and they handed over the offer letter to me. And when I looked at the offer letter and I saw the salary that they're offering me, and that changed everything. The moment I saw that I'm easily getting a very reasonable salary, I'll be able to stay in Kolkata, my hometown, and then everything changed. I thought that, okay, forget about the dreams and everything. Let's join the company, because that point of time I needed, just like anyone else who does the BSc and MStat, something similar. I mean, they need money because we have a little bit of financial responsibilities. We want to be independent at that point of time and everything, right? So by looking at that offer letter, I thought that, well, research would be, too long shot. It's going to, take a lot of time and everything. It is easy money I am getting. I'll be able to stay in Kolkata itself. So why not? So then I forgot my dreams and everything very easily and joined the company. When I joined the company, uh, it was a completely new world for me, because I was not prepared for that world. As you know, I was planning to study
Right.
further. So it was a completely new world. I was not very familiar with corporate world that point of time. It was
Also, you are a
booming.
fresher at the time. You are a fresher.
Right. I was a fresher, yes.
Right.
So it was a completely new world to me. But however, the glamour was very exciting to me at that point of time, just like it would be for anyone else, right?
Correct.
Graduating
Yes.
recently from college, the glamour, the buildings, the free coffee, the air conditioning in the office, and whatnot, right?
Right.
it was very shiny. It was very glamorous, and I was into that for quite some time. I learned a lot. I mean, I stayed there in the IT industry for around 17 years. I changed companies though in between time to time. But initially, there was a lot of learning because that was the first time I was exposed to the real world, the real business,
Right.
how it works, how to deal with the customers, how to work with them, how to, do this and do that, how to do management. Um, there are so many things that I learned. So initially, it was a little overwhelming to begin with for me, but then um, I slowly learned so many things that I still use. I mean, I still use those skills time to time. But it was learning, and it was stressful at the same time because I was not very familiar with that world, and I was making mistakes just like anyone else would. Um, so it was a little overwhelming, and at the same time, it was a lot of learning. What was best was the salary at the end of the month. So that kept me going initially for the first few years.
Sounds good. And so, and you, we know that you changed your career from corporate to teaching. So, how was your feeling at that time when you have changed your career, and what type of challenges faced? What type of challenges have you faced at that time?
Okay, great question, and I'm afraid that it's going to be a very long answer. So bear with me.
Yes.
Um, when I was working in the IT industry, as I mentioned, I learned a lot, and I was doing fairly well. I was not the best, but I was doing fairly well there. I learned so many things: people management, project management, so many technical things, languages, um, uh, people skills, and things like that. But um, that learning curve actually plateaued after a few years. So I found out that I'm not learning much anymore. I'm just doing routine work, and in the meantime, what happened was, I first few years, around 8 years, I was working in Kolkata, and then I got an opportunity to come in America. I came here. It was also a new world to me. I mean, it took some time for us, me and my family, to settle down here, to get used to the um, corporate culture, to get used to the social aspects of the lifestyle, and those kind of things. And when we were kind of pretty much settled, uh, then things started getting really boring for me, because I was not enjoying the work. I was not learning anything. I was not challenged enough. Um, and and by that time, I actually, you know, I was able to climb the corporate ladder a little bit. So I was more of a manager than a programmer or a tester, and I was not liking the type of management that I was doing. So my transition was not very smooth, and that's where I'm actually trying to go slowly. That I did not know that I would come to academics. All I knew that I would make some changes in my work. So around 2015, I started my own company with one of my friends. The company is still there. It did not go very well. It did not grow at all. It's still 2% company, but we started our company, and that is where I wanted to, change, make changes to my professional life. The journey was not easy. Journey was not easy. I was so scared to leave my career and my full-time job and work full-time in my startup. It was very scary. I was not earning a lot of money. Um, my wife was not working that point of time, so I was the only, bread earner, if you say.
Right.
Um, so it was scary. It was very difficult. We had to learn a new lifestyle of how to save money, how to not spend a lot of money, um, because you can say that my salary, my monthly income came down to, one third or one fourth or something, and we had to manage that for some time. But during that, I mean, when I believe in this, and I saw this in my life, that when you want to do something really hard, when you are really determined about making changes to something, you will never know how the opportunities will open for you. So that's exactly what happened for me. That I was trying so hard, opportunities opened, and um, I got an opportunity to teach a course in the evening time in St. Louis University. So I joined there as an adjunct instructor. It was a little bit of money. So my main motivation at that point of time was money, because I was struggling financially at that point of time. So I joined, I started, thankfully, I loved statistics so much when I was studying that I did not forget in those 17, 18 years. So with a little bit of brush up, I was able to catch up very easily. And I started teaching there, and probably I did a good job. So my chair gave me 2 courses the next semester, and the 3 courses the next semester, and so on. And there was a point of time when he said that we are actually hiring someone full time. Will you be interested? And of course, I said I am. So I applied for the job. They interviewed me, and that's how I became the full time instructor. And that's how everything happened. And I'm you can say that it's a transition. So I was distracted a little bit for 17 years. And then I came back to what I call, my own path, my own world. And I'm extremely happy that I'm doing this. I'm very happy that I'm able to contribute to the knowledge and learning of my students. And we work very, very closely with each other. I love my students, they love me too. And now you can say that I have a meaning of my profession. I mean, I know why I am here, and um, what exactly I'm doing. So I found my meaning in my professional work, because I am contributing in others' lives and helping them to build their own career. So that makes me really happy, and you can say fulfilled. I find myself very fulfilled and very happy that I am able to contribute in the society in some way.
Very interesting story. So,
Thank you.
welcome. As a data science teacher, what do you do in your daily life and what is your job? Would you like to explain briefly to our audience?
Sure, sure. My job is mostly teaching. I get assigned to a few courses as an instructor, and those courses are um, like statistics. Sometimes they are basic business analytics. Sometimes they are advanced business analytics. And by advanced, I mean, machine learning and those things as well. So there are multiple courses that are there in the business school in the St. Louis University where I teach. And uh, in different semesters, different courses are offered. But my courses, they are usually from this set. Sometimes I teach data management too. I used to teach data management and SQL and things like that, but I don't teach that anymore. But I mostly focus on analytics and machine learning and data visualization and statistics and anything that relates to data and finding insights from the data. So my day-to-day job is, uh, prepare for the courses, go there and teach, deliver lectures, and create assignments, grade the assignments, and talk to the students. That is the most interesting part, because uh, there are a lot of students who talk to me. Sometimes they don't understand
Yes.
what I'm teaching. Sometimes I'm too fast for them, because in the business school, different students come from different disciplines. So sometimes I'm too fast for some of them. So they get in touch with me, and I spend a little bit of time with them explaining slowly the topics that I covered. And sometimes they come to me, ask for advice about the topic, even outside the topic. Sometimes they ask for career advice, and personal advice and things like that. Those are the most interesting things. Um, so that is how my job looks like. I am also engaged in some of the other activities for the MBA students. I teach them too, but at the same time, in some way, you can say that they do some internships, and I'm supposed to supervise them. So I'm kind of their supervisor and mentor, and I sometimes I play that role as well. I work with the companies so that the MBA students can go to those companies and work there and learn from there with my guidance, with my help. So sometimes I play those kind of roles as well. So that is pretty much what I do in my day-to-day life.
Would you like to share some tips or advice to our audience who wants to become a data scientist?
Okay. Let me answer your question a little differently. Okay. I mean, I don't want anyone to be a data scientist just because it is one of the hottest jobs right now.
Yes, right.
Um, because if you do this, then you're making a mistake. Always follow your heart. From my experience that I shared with you, I know very well that if I did not love my topic, if I was not excited about learning those things, then I would not have changed my career after 16, 17 years. Just because I put so much of my heart in that, that kept me going. And suddenly one fine morning, I realized that I remember pretty much everything, even after 17 years, although my IT job was not at all related to statistics or data. So what I would recommend everyone is to first follow your heart. Do not choose a career just because it is hot right now, because a career is supposed to be a long-term plan, and whatever is hot today might not be hot tomorrow. And if you do not like what you are doing, remember, in our job we spend 8, 9, 10 hours, right,
Correct.
in a day.
Yes.
If you do not like it, if you're not excited about it, don't do it. Don't make your profession a compromise, that just because it is giving me more money, I'll do this. But what will happen tomorrow if something else comes up, right?
Right.
There are so many types of jobs. If you look at the history, there are so many jobs that are gone now. Um, right? We lost those jobs to technology and otherwise. So don't choose the data science path just because it is hot and it is a high in demand. If you do not like it, if you're not excited about it. Now, if you are excited about it, then my suggestion would be to um, make your foundations stronger. And by foundations, I mean two things: mathematics and statistics.
Statistics.
Yes,
Okay.
mathematics and statistics. Learn those two things first, because those two are going to be your foundation stones. And then later on, you can learn so many advanced things. The way I look at it is data science or analytics or machine learning is um, this advanced now because of the computational power. You know what happened? Earlier, theoretically, there was statistics and mathematics. And then on top of that, there is so much of computational power that we did not have like 30, 40 years ago, right? So that's why it could not grow. But now with the computers and everything, supercomputers and everything, there is so much um, of computational power. Calculations can be very large. Calculations can be done in a very less time. So that is what is data science. It is the stats and math uh, augmented by the computational power that makes everything possible, starting from deep learning and things like that, machine learning and whatnot. So if you do not have those foundations strong, then learning a language like Python or R, learning a package like Power BI or Tableau is not going to help you much, because if you do not understand the foundations, the fundamentals, then it's not going to take you very far. So my suggestion would be to focus on mathematics and statistics, and then slowly take the other aspects of data science. Because if you have those two things strong, then you will never have difficulty in catching up with the new things that are coming up almost every day.
Okay. So thank you so much for sharing the valuable advice for our audience who wants to become a data scientist. And as a data scientist, uh, actually, I want to hear that is that as a data scientist, what is the job in data scientist?
The job is really simple. Um, how do I explain? Um, so think about any scientific discovery.
Okay.
Think about any scientific discovery. Whenever there was a discovery of any formula or any theory, it was always extracted or supported by data.
Okay.
Think about anything. Think about Newton's laws of motion, or Boyle's law of pressure versus volume, or um, any chemical reactions, for example. Whenever there's a theory, is always backed by data. Now, earlier, the scientists used to spend a lot of time and effort in collecting the data and in analyzing them and then coming up with a theory. And we just learned the theories. We did not really care about the data and everything, because the scientists took care of that. We just learned the theories. We directly learned the Newton's laws. We directly learned the Charles laws and Boyle's laws and everything, right? We did not really care about the data behind. Now with so much of computational power with computers and everything, it's very easy for all of us to collect data, analyze the data, and come up with theories out of that. Because we can collect the data, we can see the various patterns, we can see the hidden structures in the data,
Yes.
the cause effect relationships, the various clusters and whatnot. And we can collect the data and we can look at the data in various possible ways, and we can come up with theories that for example, this particular product sells maximum during the summertime.
Correct.
That's a theory for
theory,
it can be a theory for a particular organization, right? So with this much of computational power, we can develop our own theories only by looking at the data, collecting the data and looking at the data. And it is especially very useful for the organizations who have to take business decisions, like how to market something, or whom to sell it, and which geographic region they should focus more on currently. And if they have these kind of questions, then it's very easy for them to to collect the data and analyze the data and come up with their own theories. And thus, they can convert that to their own business decisions.
Yeah.
That is what is data science, that we help collecting the data, but mostly we help in analyzing the data and come up with theories, which is very specific to maybe an organization, maybe a department, maybe a person. It does not have to be a universal theory, but theory specific to a particular product, particular organization, particular company, particular person, particular group, and so on. So we help them looking at the data and come up with their own theories so that they can make their own decisions correctly.
Very interesting. So thank you so much, Abhimanyu, for joining here. And
you're most welcome, Shyamdeep, and thank you so much for giving this opportunity.
Yes, welcome. And also, we will meet again as soon as possible. And
absolutely, I would love to. I always love talking to you.
Yes. And I think our audience will get a lot of knowledge about data science, what is data science, and what is the job in data science. So thanks to everyone for watching patiently, and please hit the subscribe button and, like, comment, and share more and more. This is Shanti Chatterjee signing out until the next video.